Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back. Our guest today is a very good friend, Rafi Farber from the Endgame Investor. Welcome back, Rafi.
Good to be back, Ivan.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. I want to get you on to talk about, everything that's happening in silver, gold, geopolitical issues that's happening around the world, and of course, the financial news that's been breaking. First, though, let's start off with Trump's bill that just got passed through Congress. What are your thoughts? Good, bad? Is it just more unnecessary spending, more debt, or is it a good thing?
Wait a second, did it actually get passed? Or I think it was advanced to the floor. Is that what it was?
I thought it was passed from the news that I seen.
Well, whatever it was, whether it was passed or I just saw, I think it was Zero Hedge that I think it was advanced in the floor. But okay,
Okay.
even if it was passed, it's gonna pass anyway. So, what the exact stage right now is at this time at 2 o'clock Eastern on Sunday, it doesn't make a difference. Is it unnecessary spending? It depends what you mean by unnecessary. Is it necessary to avoid a bank collapse to spend this much money? Yes, it is.
Right.
The more that you inflate, the more that you need to spend in order to keep the inflation going, because once again, money and debt are the opposite sides of the same fiat coin in this fiat world. Like, we are living in a fiat world, and I am a fiat girl, as Madonna said, if she were an economist. So yes, it is necessary, and yes, a fiat system which is run by the United States of America's dollar needs to go into further debt in order for the fiat system to continue to its inevitable conclusion. It can conclude in two ways. Either they can stop spending, and then you have a deflationary collapse, and then they allow that deflationary collapse to happen, and everything goes back to 1971, or what has been happening since then is there is a small deflationary collapse, and then the Fed buys more bonds, and in order for it to buy more bonds, the Treasury has to spend more money to issue those bonds. Again, it's the same side, it's the same equation,
Right.
and then you continue down the fiat road, which is oblivion, which is where we are heading. Now, I don't blame Trump for this because first of all, he doesn't know any better. Second of all, even if he did, he wouldn't be able to stop it. If he did, if Trump were, let's say, Ron Paul, which he isn't, and even if it were Ron Paul would have to have something like a huge majority of the American people on his side and ready to experience a deflationary collapse, and they'd have to be okay with that. And I don't think even Ron Paul would be able to do it, even if he
Right.
wanted to.
Right.
So no, it's not his fault. There's nothing that Trump can really do about this. We're at the concluding stages of a hyperinflationary or hyperdeflationary, either way, it's the same thing, collapse. And it's one of those two things. And Trump doesn't want to pick either of those two things because he'd like to have a legacy. In order to have a legacy, you need to have a relatively stable system in order to actually accomplish anything. So he's going to pick that. He's going to pick the continue to inflate until everything blows up. And the question is, when does it blow up? And I think it blows up after they raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion, because that's part of the bill. Once they raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion, they have to raise that money somewhere. It's not like $5 trillion more dollars are invented. It's
Right.
just that they have the ability to raise that money. But where does it come from? It's going to have to come from the Fed because there are no more. So after that, we'll see the next printing round, and that should be the end of it. I hope, because we're coming way too close to nuclear war for this system can continue any longer.
Absolutely. And there's footage online circulating in the past day or two about they're putting big gates and big like I think temporary gates around the Federal Reserve. What do you think they're preparing for? What do you think they know? Are they just preparing for July 4th? But yeah, there's footage everywhere right now online about them putting gates all around the Federal Reserve. What do you think that is?
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, just a day or
Um,
two.
Gates. Um, I would hope that means that they're about to print more money, meaning issue more dollars in exchange for the Treasury's debt, because they know that's what they're going to have to do when the debt ceiling is raised. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just the culture of gates and fences spreading itself, which is also inevitable.
Yeah.
But gates and fences don't do anything, as we in Israel know very, very well. We had a big gate around Gaza that didn't stop anything. There was still a big massacre. So if people get mad enough at the Fed, not saying that they should be massacred. No, I'm against all violence, but they could be scared
Right.
and then maybe take a flight out of the country and never come back. I wouldn't mind that. There's probably plenty of places for them to go. They've got a lot of banker friends and islands all over the place. Azores, Epstein Island, whatever, Antarctica. They could start monetary policy for the penguins over there. I'm sure they need that to keep their society running.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so if there are gates around the Fed, I guess that's an encouraging sign. Before they fall, they build fences, and then the fences fall, and then you win. You saw it with the Berlin Wall. Um, when did these clips come out? Was it
Just
yesterday?
just just a day or two ago. I think like literally within the last 48 hours, 24 hours, there's people who got footage of their building. They came out at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and all these workers started putting up these big temporary gates or like barricades around the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it might has something to do. This is a stretch. I don't think it does, but I might as well bring this up anyway. That they're considering slashing the supplementary leverage ratio, and that means that they're just going to enable the banks to inflate more. Is basically what it means. They're going to enable the banks to buy more treasuries without it counting as space taken up on their balance sheets, so that they can buy more treasuries on auction
Right.
and be market makers. So if that is related to it and they're trying to loosen things up now because they know the debt ceiling is going to be raised, they're going to need more dollars. So then they're going to need more intermediation if the Fed has to get involved and whatever. Maybe it's all connected, maybe it's not. Maybe it's all connected in just in the sense that this is what the end of systems look like. Uh, if you're more conspiratorial, you'll say this is all planned. If you think this is just the natural end of systems like this, you'll just say this is how it happens. Either way, it's the
Yeah.
same thing.
If you're a gold owner, you already know about all the ways precious metals can hedge yourself against financial instability. Monetary Metals is revolutionizing how people can invest in gold and silver. Right now, there's opportunities for you to earn 4% interest on your gold paid in gold in their marketplace. Now's the time to secure your wealth in an asset that the government can't inflate away. Join thousands of investors earning interest in physical gold and silver every single month with Monetary Metals. Grow your gold over time so that you're not just preserving, but growing your wealth in an asset that can't get inflated away by just printing more money. Visit the link in the description below to get started now. Yeah, absolutely. Now, moving on to silver and gold, there's a lot of people online talking about, what's happening with silver, what's happening with gold right now. Are we in a consolidating, term right now? Silver is kind of going sideways around the $36 mark. What are your thoughts on precious metals right now, Rafi?
Well, we are in a consolidation phase just because the price hasn't moved for, was it 2 or 3 months? Was it 4 months? When's the last time there was a rally? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Maybe 3 months ago.
2, 3 months for gold for sure. Silver broke
Yeah.
out a little bit a while back, but yeah, it's just been going sideways now, which is not a bad
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, okay. So these things happen all the time. Even if you're in a hyperinflationary market like 1978, 1979, a majority of the time in 1979, the best year for gold ever was spent in consolidation. And
Yeah,
rallies happen quickly and they stop and you consolidate and then they happen again. So if we've been in a consolidation for 3 months, wouldn't this be the time to anticipate the next rally and move higher? I mean, I'm pretty sure that once the Fed gets involved again, because they have to, because again, the $5 trillion that they want to raise the debt ceiling by, those $5 trillion don't exist. They can't just borrow them from nobody. They can borrow them from the Fed because they're the only ones that can create them, but they don't exist right now.
right.
So I think the next rally starts when that happens. And if this bill has passed or it will be passed the next week or two, then the Treasury is going to start raising that money very quickly, and then the Fed's going to have to intervene within the next few weeks.
Yeah.
That, unless I'm wrong about the math or there's some kind of other magic trick that I don't know about, but that's how I see it.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Yeah, absolutely. Now, a lot of because of everything that's going on in the world, a lot of people are seeing that they need to protect their dollars more and more. And on our channel, and of course in the precious metals community, you're seeing a lot of the younger crowd come out from what the comments that I'm seeing that are they want to protect their dollars. What would be a pro and con, or not even a pro and con, but what would be a do not and do this for getting into silver and gold? Like, what would be the first thing you'd tell them?
Do not buy numismatic silver if you're trying to protect your wealth. I don't want to protect my dollars. I want to get rid of them.
Right.
I want to protect my ability to exchange a liquid commodity for other things that I need. So my strategy is to acquire that liquid commodity and forget about the derivative of it, which is the dollar.
Right.
The other thing not to do would be don't leverage on options. Don't buy the AGQ ETF, like the 2X silver ETF or something like that. You can do that for fun, if you're into like, recreational drugs or raves or something and you're not an addict, but I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. There are
Right.
people that are addicts, there are people that are not addicts, but I'm not going to say, take a shot. Maybe you're not an addict and, to do some X or something. Don't do that. It's just like rule of thumb, don't do it.
Right.
Uh, the other thing not to do would be don't store your gold and silver in a bank safety deposit box because when the banks get in trouble, they'll say that all of your property is now confiscated for national security or financial security reasons, and you'll lose it. And don't concentrate on silver exploration companies. And I work with silver exploration companies, but don't put all your money there.
Right.
Those are I wouldn't I'm not going to call those like 2x leverage ETFs or anything irresponsible like that, but those are mining companies, even the big ones, are for people that can handle a
Risk.
lot of volatility,
Yeah.
and don't buy all silver. Don't dump all of your assets and buy all silver. Have it if you have 5%, up it to 10%. If you have 10%, up it to 12, 13, 14, whatever. You don't have to dump your entire portfolio and buy gold and silver because the dollar is going to collapse tomorrow. Even if it does collapse tomorrow, 10%, 15% is probably enough for you to save your purchasing power, a lot of it.
Right.
So take it incrementally. Don't try to do everything at once.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before you go, Rafi, I really want people to connect with you. I want them to find Endgame Investor. The links will be in the description below, so they can also find all your links. But where can people find you as a breakdown?
On Substack is my main bread and butter, endgameinvestor.substack.com. And I give people the intellectual base for understanding what money is. And once you understand that, nothing can really move you from the conclusion that because of the Misesian, because of the regression principle, everything goes back to gold, and before that goes back to silver. So we're going to go back to the beginning. If you believe in the Big Bang and that the universe is going to recollapse on itself and then inflate again, explode again, and we're just in an accordion universe, well, that's what the financial system is. It blows up with inflation, it contracts back down, and we're gonna contract back down into gold and silver, but that doesn't mean that wealth gets destroyed. It just means that purchasing power gets shifted. It gets shifted into the most liquid commodities. So we're seeing that also in little silver, which is also known as platinum. That's what
Hmm.
platinum means, little silver. So we're seeing some moves in platinum. Does that presage big moves in the actual money, which is silver? We saw in 2008 platinum went crazy, and then there was a financial crisis, so platinum's going kind of crazy again. Are we on the verge of a financial crisis? Probably, yes.
Yeah.
You can also find me on YouTube. My channel is Rafi Farber. That's my name, and that's where you can find me, and I hope to see you there.
Yeah, everyone watching this, I highly, highly recommend. Please go check out Rafi's work. The links will be in the description below, so that way it's just easy. Just hit the little tab below. You'll see all of Rafi's link. But Rafi, thank you so much for coming down to speak into the silver and the gold community. As always, such a huge, huge pleasure having you come down to speak to everyone as the market develops and all the craziness in the world continues. Would really love to have you back on.
Looking forward to be back on too.
Talk to you soon.